Hey out there in YouTube land, Rick here, and thanks for hitting the button to be with me today. Now, I'm not sure if it's going to be worth it or not. I'm on a lake I haven't been on in, I'm going to say 4 years. There was winter kill on it a few years ago, and about 5 years ago actually, and when I came, it was dead. What it is a little tiny country lake, and as you can see from the opening footage, it is thick with weeds, milfoil, this stuff. That that water temperature's got to be close to 90 degrees, man. I'm in 2 feet of water right here, and it does have something big swirled just ahead of me. Now, I don't know where the fish are going to be here, but it's going to be interesting to figure it out. Hopefully I'll get enough stuff together to make a video out of it. It's been 3 weeks since I've been out fishing, which is a long time for me, but you know, life happens. So got to kind of figure out the best way to go about this, figure out what tools I'm going to use. I can tell you right now, it's not going to be 2 and 3 pound test crappie rigs. That's not even going to get strung up on this lake. We're talking weeds, even off, and the drop off the weeds. One of the reasons I even look at this lake and like it is because it's catch and release only. In other words, any bass you catch has to go right back in there. The bluegill, actually I'm not certain on bluegill or crappie. I have to look at, it's a restricted fishery, so I'm not even sure if you can keep panfish in this lake, but very rarely do I keep fish anyway, so I can't tell you how deep it is because there's weeds right up to the surface here. Wow. I don't know if you can see any of it down there, but fish on. First cast to the edge of the weeds, man. He escaped. Woo! That was my very first cast, and I picked it. It wasn't very big, but that was I had the drag set all wrong. Yeah, I'm gonna need my anchor for sure. That was my first cast and I had a fish on. Wow! That means I guessed right. This is actually my second fish. And he took my bait. Okay, I think I got things figured out here. Yeah. Now, what I'm using this time, remember I said use crappie minnows? Well, when you get into July and the fish are done spawning, this is the size I like using, 2 to 3 inches, okay? This is, what size jig is that? That's 1/8 ounce jig, or 16. That's a 16th ounce jig. It's a small one because I still want it to sink really slow. Now what I've been doing is I just casting out to the edge of these super defined weeds. Like I missed that one by about 3 feet. But I got, there's one. Whoop, lost it. The thing with this milfoil is at this time point, the bass are hanging along right in the edge and they see something swimming just, outside edge, they're gonna come out, grab it and go back in. That's the kind of stuff I'm fishing for right now. Can't tell you how deep the water is here, but this is, there we go. This is just a little guy, but at this point we don't care because this lake is coming back from winter kill. So let's show you what we're fishing. You can see the edge of the weeds there. I cast as close to that as I dare. That's about 2 feet away, and let it sink, and just, there's a fish right there. Oh, it got off. This jig's a little small for this bait, but frankly, look at that. I got hit twice in one drift. Another little one. This is a school of little guys. There's a lot of these, huh? Not skunked. So yeah, this is 8-pound test mono with just an old beater reel on here. I'm just doing the best I can. I like old stuff. I can't throw out a reel just because I got a new one. I gotta keep using the old stuff. There we go. Whoop. Can't tell if there's a fish or not. I don't think so. Nope, this one is just a floating weed. Boy, it felt like a fish. It really did. People. There we go. Another one. This one has a bit more meat to it. This is the biggest fish of the day so far. Trouble is, they go right down in the weeds, which is where this guy is. Come on, out of the weeds, out of the weeds. I got 8-pound test on this reel. So I'm bringing up a fish and weeds right now. I remember trying to fish this lake years ago with a fly rod, and just every single fish went right into the weeds, right, and I would lose it every time. No bigger than any of the others, so it sure felt like it. Sure felt like it. 3, 4. Count of 4, and they're just ticking the top of the weeds. There's another one. It's kind of like fish in a barrel. Huh. These got to be all stocked fish. They're all so close to the same size. But hey man, I haven't been fishing for a while, so I like it. I'll take whatever it is. There we go. Ooh, this one feels better. get it up. It went right to the weeds. Get it out of the weeds. It's not better, it's the same. Yep, stocked fish. That's what we're dealing with here. I have to look up on the DNR report of just what's going on with this lake. That one's better. Aha! There are bigger ones in here, people. There are bigger ones. Yeah. Jig fishing, people. Jig fishing. I tell you, for many years, that's all I did was jig fish. You know, I felt guilty because, well, sorry. I felt guilty because, you know, I had a whole box full of plugs and everything, but all I did was use jigs. Because, man, jigs are lethal. Yep, another one. So many weeds. Oh, this one's... I found a little pool of ones that are a little bit bigger. Tell me this isn't fun. Another one, people. Ah, these would be fun on the fly rod. Maybe I'll make a trip back here someday if it's not. Come on, come on. Huh, they're a little bigger over here, huh? That's refreshing to know that there's more than one size fish in the place. Tip, here's a tip, people, for if you're new to jig fishing. If you're a pro watching this, don't worry about it. This is for the beginners. If you haven't really used jigs, a couple things to look for is, one, if you haven't got any, get a variety of weights, okay? Whatever you know, and for me, the lighter the better. I don't like fishing a jig with less, you know, with more than a 10-pound test line for most situations. What do we got here? Another little bass, okay? You know, 8 to 10 pound test for most situations, you're going to do just fine, okay? And you want to be able to throw a lighter jig and get away with it. Next thing is jig head color. You can buy plated ones that are silver or gold, and the eyelets are clear. You don't have to poke the paint out. Do that. I recommend that because it keeps you more in the water longer. You're not picking the paint out of those. If color is very important to you, get the painted heads. That's fine. Third, what you put on the jig. I try to match the size of the bait that the fish are looking for. Like this time of year, this is the size of the minnows that are swimming around out here. And personally, and this is personal opinion only, I like natural colors. black and silver. This can be a lot of different things swimming around here. And last, but very important if you're a beginner, is try to get a piece of plastic that has a tail that swims, okay? That way you can just reel it back and this tail will do the work for you and you'll catch fish and build up your confidence. Later on you can go to use a bobber on jigs. You can do everything with a jig. It's just incredible what you can do with jigs. They're awesome. But a swim tail for a beginner or a curly tail like a Mr. Twister, absolutely a good idea. That way it gives you that little extra and you don't have to worry about imparting action yourself. As you get used to fishing a jig, giving it action, go for it, do it, you know. That's the key. So that's it for fishing with jigs. Thing with jigs, you can cast, like I'm fishing 6 inches of water here and you just reel in right away and just, you can use it like a Rapala. You can just swim it over the surface, stuff like that. Good stuff. Well, we'll see you. Right next to the edge of weeds. On another school of these, sorry, I don't want to give you my plastic. I only got a couple left. Another school of these hatchery fish. And you know what? I'm having a ball. It's been almost 3 weeks since I've been fishing, which is rare for me. I just had to get out today, no matter what the weather. It's supposed to be raining all weekend, so I'm enjoying myself. Well, this feels bigger than the last one. They all feel good, right? Little guy again. They are holding tight to the cover. But you gotta remember, I haven't been to this lake in a long time, and the object of today's fishing trip was more of a scouting trip than anything. I just wanted to see, you know, has the lake come back at all? And, you know, it has. I mean, there's a nice, healthy population of fish. No, they're not big, but you know, if they survive the next winter, they're going to be an inch or two bigger, and they definitely are not going to succumb to fishing pressure because we have to let every one of them go. Oh, that one hit. Oh, talking to you instead of fishing. There he is. He came back and obliged me a shot of it. That's a little bit bigger, huh? I do believe the scouting trip was a success. Plus, you guys are learning how to fish a jig. Well, maybe. Thing with fishing a jig, if you haven't done it before, let's do this. Let's start over. Fishing a jig. Okay, the key thing to fishing a jig is not to have a slack line. You want to cast out and you want to be able to feel that line all the way down. You're feeling for the tiniest tick, nick, pow, anything like that. There he is. And this is, of course, without live bait. With if you have like a night crawler tipped on there or something like that, it's a lot easier because they'll suck it in and keep it. But you don't need one. You don't need a night crawler. Yeah, some days you will, but it's what you do is just take your jig, paddle out to the edge of the weeds, And just let the wind blow you down the line. Cast out there, feel for the bottom. Yeah, you're going to drag up some weeds now and again. That's part of the deal. You want to get down there and be, if it's a gravel bottom or rocks like Mille Lacs Lake, you want to be right down ticking off the rock tops. A jig is all about feel. You're feeling rocks. You can tell what kind of bottom is on the lake where you're fishing. And 9 out of 10 times, even if you do your reading, I think I'm not the only one that says this, the fish is going to hit it on the way down. And like that. Ooh, this is a nicer one, people. Yeah, that's a better one. That's a much better one. And he hit that on the drop. Just like, come on. Come to Uncle Rick. Ah, that's a nicer one, huh? They're out there. This is on a little tiny jig. Look at that one, huh? Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Yeah. Oh. Yep, he ate my bait, but I got more. This lake today is right on the edge of this milfoil. The closer I cast, the smaller the fish, basically. But I almost everywhere I cast, if I can get it within 12 inches of the edge of the milfoil, I got a fish. So see, that's about 4 feet away. But I'm still counting. And all I do is reel in enough line so that I can feel the jig. That's all I'm going for. And then a gentle, once I feel it tick the weeds, I just reel it in very slow like this. In this case, I'm pulsing it, but use whatever comes to mind. Whatever, you gotta keep trying out different methods of retrieve until you figure out whatever's working on a particular day, on a particular lake for you. Generally speaking, though, you almost don't have to retrieve because that one landed 12 inches away. And there's my fish. Whoop! And I lost him. Maybe he'll hit it again. He did. Oh! He came off again. Okay. Let's try it again. "12 inches away. Reel a little bit, let it sink. Reel a little bit, let it sink. Yep, well. I don't want to turn the camera right into the sun for you. But and fluorocarbon works really well for jig fishing because it's so dang sensitive. Oh. This is jig fishing, people. Go buy yourself some jigs. They can be unpainted. And have yourself a ball. Woo! Keep getting water on your face. Well, that's it for this episode of Fishing with Rick. I want to thank you for taking the time out of your day to watch. Hopefully you learned a little something about jig fishing. Wow. This lake is going to be fun in a year or two. It really will. If it doesn't get a winter kill, fishing is gonna be. Okay, back to my closing. I want to do something different besides pitching worms, because I look at my, getting a bite right there. This is very disconcerting floating here. Okay, I can do this. I'm getting hits right here. Get the line out of the water so I can finish. Okay. This is going to be tricky to edit this one together. Okay, where was I? Oh yeah, thanks for taking time out of your day to follow me and watch, and hopefully you picked up a little something about jig fishing. I can't overemphasize having jigs of various sizes in your box. They're just like, really, if in a survival situation, if I had to pick just one lure, it'd be a jig, just a medium size. And the smaller jigs, they sink slower, and the slower the sink, it seems to trigger the fish in clear water, the stuff that I fish, better, you know. But you need all sizes. Just buy yourself, if you haven't done it, go buy a box of sorted jigs. The problem is they're all painted, and you're gonna have to get a tool or use a pocket knife or another hook to dig into the eyelets and clean them all the time. When I'm out on the water, I just don't like spending that kind of time. So that's why I go with the unpainted heads. This is cool, man. So anyways, until next time, keep your lines wet. Thanks for watching. Woo! Hit the like button if you like it, because that lets me know I'm doing things right. I don't really care what YouTube thinks about it. It lets me know what you want to see. If you want to see me fish a different lake or something, just mention it in the comments. You know, who knows? I love fishing new water, so it's wide open. This is a pretty small channel. I'm a small fish in a big lake, and right now, you guys, the 100 or so guys that are with me, you have my full attention. There's another one. Ah, this is great. Yeah, fish are bigger on this side of the lake. So, that's it this time for Fishing with Rick. Till next time, we'll see ya.